Okay, kids, as I'm getting over my little sinus cold here, I thought I'd make a video on rational exponents. And this time, though, we're going to simplify by using distributive property and radicals, as you will see. Take a look at this problem right here. The key thing to remember, guys, is do you still remember what 1/2 power means? It's the same thing as square root, right? Okay, so one way to look at this is everything in here is going to have a square root or 1/2 power. Okay, so I actually have 16 and 1/2 power. I have x to the third to the 1/2 power, and I have y to the fourth to the 1/2 power. And so let's see what we have next. Well, 16 to the 1/2, isn't that the same thing as the square root of 16? And the square root of 16 is 4, right? Alright, so now let's take the x's here. Haven't we learned that when we multiply, power on power, we multiply? So isn't that really x to the 3/2 power? Because 3 times 1/2 is 3/2. And we're going to do the same thing with the y's here. I'm going to get y, and when I do 4 times 1/2 there, I hope you realize that's 4/2, which of course is 2. So what do we have now? We have 4. We have the square root of x cubed, and we have y squared. The only thing that's still unfinished is that square root of x3. Well, remember, x3 is xxx, and when we take the square root, remember we take pairs. So notice I'm going to end up with 4, a regular x, a y squared, and a square root of a single x. Now that was a lot of stuff to process at one time, guys. But we got to get good at radicals, converting between radicals and rational powers. Okay? And in the process also learn to simplify. Remember, you have your calculator to help you during class time. Okay? So pause the video. Okay, let's take a look at this one. So we're going to approach it the same way. We're going to do 20 to the 1/2. We have x squared to the 1/2. We have y to the 5th to the 1/2. Okay, next thing, isn't 20 to 1/2 square root of 20? Isn't the x's going to be x to the 2/2, which is just simply 1? And aren't we going to have y to the 5/2? Okay, so now what? Well, let's go ahead and simplify square root of 20. That's 4 times 5. 4 is 2 times 2. And notice we have a pair of 2's. So that's a regular 2 with a square root of 5. What else? Well, that right there, of course, is just x to the 1, or just x. And then this right here is the square root of y to the 5. But remember, y to the 5 is y times another y. Remember, they're baby square roots. So we're going to take groups of 2 of them, as you can see. And so let's put it all together. We'll have a 2, that 2 right there. We'll have a square root of 5, of course. I'll put that with some space in between. We'll have a regular x. I'll put it next to the 2. We'll have a y and another regular y. That's y squared. And of course, this extra y goes with the 5. So that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is our answer. 2xy squared times the square root of 5y. Again, pause the video because I want to do one more. Okay, do you guys still remember what a 1/3 power is? It's a cube root, right? So don't forget that's a cube root. So what we're going to have here is, let's distribute first, 24 to the 1/3, then x to the 4/3, again 4 times 1/3. We're also going to have right here y to the 5/3. I kind of skipped the intermediate step there, so does everybody understand? Power on power we multiplied there, right? 4 times 1/3 is 4/3. 5 times 1/3 is 5/3. Okay, so now what? Well, 24 to the 1/3 is the cube root of 24. Oh, got to break it down. 3 times 8, 2 times 4, 2 times 2. What do you know? We have 3 2's there, which makes a regular 2, doesn't it? We have an extra 3 there, which will mean a cube root of 3. Okay, now let's go to the x to the 4/3. Well, that's going to be the cube root of x to the 4, and x to the 4 is x times x times x times x, and we can take 3 of them to make a regular x. The extra x goes with radical 3. Now we finally have the y's right there. We know that that is the cube root of y to the 5. But wait a minute. Y to the 5 is y times y times y times y times y. And 3 of them make a regular y. And the extra 2 y's will make a y squared. And so, over here, ladies and gentlemen, is my final simplified answer. 2xy times the cube root of 3x squared y. So this is definitely time to pause the video for one more time. Definitely rewind, watch this video more than once. Maybe make Cornell notes out of it. Take it one problem at a time. There's 3 good problems here to study, guys. And if you know these 3 problems, you're well on your way to preparing yourself for IM3 and Trig Pre-Calc. Until next time, bye.